many times people don't talk about the unwinding. They always talk about the hustle.
Mm.
Hustle, 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 hustle. Try. Work, work, work. Yes, but
Welcome to the show again. So I need to say that I did something very stupid. I think so. I had everything recording, but didn't. The microphones didn't record, so we didn't have sound.
well, thank you for having me. I feel like I'm here on the second time already.
So I'm gonna try to take it from the start. It was actually very interesting, but you're never going to see that again. So, what happened? So welcome to the show. Do you let people know again what what do you do, who you are?
Hello, everyone. So first of all, thank you so much for having me. My name is Zeina. I am Greek American, born and raised in Greece, though. I started off as a pastry chef, and that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years, pretty much. And then I started working as a corporate trainer in a national company. And now I also do some UGC creation on the side.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to explain what's UGC?
Okay. So UGC stands for user generated content. Its main purpose is for brands to have creators to which they help them create advertising videos for them, so that way they can promote them on social media either as organic content, so that way they can have them all across their platforms, and also use them as paid ads. So it depends on what the brand at that time. It's very, very big in the US, and it's slowly coming into Europe as well. So we're pretty much still at the start. But I think it's going really well because, whatever starts in the States becomes big worldwide after that. So I think we're off to a very good start. We're still pretty much at the beginning, but it's heading only up.
Yeah. And when you get here, you're gonna have definitely a heads up compared to all the other people because you started already.
Yes.
And you already have a big audience around that.
Yes, and there are many other creators here in Greece as well that have achieved the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I've met some creators in Europe, like in the Netherlands, for example, and they're doing amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. So there's no reason why not catch up, not to be able to get into UGC.
Mm-hmm.
It's only at the start, so it's only an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You also get to learn throughout the process.
Mm-hmm.
See where your skills can get.
Mm-hmm. Because you have so many things that you do. So many things, basically, when you need to create something from video, editing, voiceover, all stuff. So the questions I ask everyone in the beginning of the podcast is, what's your goal right now? Where you're trying to get?
Because in general, my life has been so versatile. The number one goal is to always be creative and be happy being creative.
Mm-hmm.
Because many times when you plan for something to happen, it doesn't usually happen, but you end up somewhere else. And it gets much more exciting that way because, you don't pick this path, you choose another path, and then you're going to choose another path. And you don't know where that's going to take you in the end. So it might even be even better than what you originally planned. But the end goal definitely is to, always be happy with what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And just have my creativity soar at all times.
Okay. Being creative in general, keep learning.
Always.
Keep exploring.
Absolutely. Always.
Where do you will place, like, from 1 to 10? How far away you are to get there?
I think based on what I've done so far, I think I'm a good 6.
Mm-hmm.
A little above the middle.
Okay. Awesome. Give me one moment. Now I'm like paranoid. So now I'm paranoid that nothing works properly and something is not recording. Thank you for the gift.
Ah, it was a pleasure.
They're delicious. I had one before starting, and I like that they're crunchy all around, but
Mhm.
in the middle they're still juicy and
Mhm.
smooth. So yeah, thank you
Well,
for
their
it.
chocolate chip cookies are my specialty.
Yeah, you're doing a lot around pastry, and
Yeah.
I have tried a lot of your birthday cakes. They're always delicious. And next time I will have you in mind for mine.
Please do. Please do. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's always my favorite gift to give.
Cool. And one more thing I need to mention is that I'm wearing, you can see how I'm wearing my headphones as a noob, but I met you like a lot of years before and as a singer,
Yeah.
and this is how professionals wear them. 1 year is outside. Can you explain why one is outside?
Yeah, so I'll explain to you from a singer's perspective.
Yeah.
So when you're recording, you need to listen to the music. So when you have one listening to the music, you also need to listen to yourself on how you sing.
Hmm.
So the one is free. So that way you can also understand what's going on around you. You can also hear yourself. You can also hear like what's going on. Is there maybe some noise that is not supposed to make the cut? Who knows?
Mm,
So yeah, it applies
okay.
it applies to pretty much also my everyday headphones when I wear them.
Hmm.
Always to
You wear them
understand.
like this.
Yeah, because you also get paranoid when you're wearing your headphones and suddenly you think that you heard something and you're like, did it really happen now? But no, at least you have the certainty from the one ear as well.
Yeah, yeah. There is sometimes I'm listening to music
Hmm.
and they put like sirens inside
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And then I realize when I remove them, oh no, that's real life. There is something happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've experienced that too.
um, and so I'm gonna go back to UGC
Okay.
because I think that's the main thing that you do as a side hustle because you're doing so much things at the same time. Um, and you said it's gonna probably catch up in Greece and Europe
Yeah.
in general. What's the brands that you usually work for?
I have a massive variety actually.
Mm,
I'm a multi-niche sort of creator. I've worked with wax melts. Done uh, I've done books. I love reviewing books
okay.
because I also get to read them. I'm a massive bookworm. I read
Mm,
books. I listen to books all the time. I mean, ask my closest friends; they'll always tell you, "Yeah, Zaina's always with a book wherever she goes."
okay.
So it's one of my favorite things to promote. What else have I done? Yeah, I'm currently also on an app that is against food waste.
Mm-hmm.
I create some videos with tips. For example, if your cookies burn, for example, don't throw them away. Just make them like a cheesecake crust or something.
Oh, okay. That's clever.
Yeah, it's one
Oh,
of my main passions,
oh,
actually. Yeah,
okay.
food waste is God in the era that we're living of super consumption.
Mm,
It's the same thing with food,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. I know lots of
And
people that they gonna throw a lot of.
yes, yeah, it's a big shame. A big shame, a waste of money.
Hmm.
Now that the ingredients, especially, they've become even more expensive now with
Hmm.
today's economy. It's a shame. Throw it out. So I love creating content for that as well. What else? Those are mostly Greek brands.
Hmm.
Um, I'm still hoping and trying to reach out to other brands. However, there are some brands, as I've seen in several ads, that ask for the reverse because I'm also looking to do in English their videos.
Hmm.
Others are actually asking for Greek
Mm.
speakers, for Greek native
Yeah,
speakers.
yeah.
So that's a major plus for not just me, for any other Greek creator out there.
That's amazing, actually, and I haven't heard it before,
Hmm.
and it's yeah, very clever to do the reverse. Because in my mind, I thought trying to do it in English, so you
Hmm.
have like to go outside of Greece,
Yeah.
but you could probably do it in Greek, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, and you are half American,
Yes.
half Greek. So you have the proper accent and everything. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up speaking English at home. So I first learned English and then I learned Greek.
Ah, okay.
It was hard. I had a rough child. No, I didn't.
You were going to the like kindergarten speaking English to the other kids, like.
Funnily, okay, there's a funny story behind that. So first of all, my kindergarten was Greek Italian.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Do you also speak Italian?
But only the basics, buongiorno, buonanotte, basta, a lot of basta going on around. That's as far as my Italian goes. But when I went to school, funnily enough, I always attended Greek school throughout my 12 years of schooling. So whenever, I remember specifically when I was in my first English class in the first grade, the teacher would pick up a pencil and say, "This is a pencil." And I would just go, "No, it's pencil." "This is an elephant." "Oh, it's elephant." I was, God, I was a little Hermione back then.
This is exactly what you remind me of.
It's Leviosa,
exactly.
not Leviosa.
That's exactly what I had in mind when you were telling the story. And how did the teachers reply?
Well, I don't remember that, to be honest.
Usually they don't like to be
They don't like
corrected.
it, no, they don't. But it wasn't that bad. That's why probably I've wiped it off my memory. I only remember me correcting her.
Okay.
Sorry. I was annoying.
Okay.
But it's a fun memory to have.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. As a kid, I was correcting my teacher. That's perfect.
Yeah. As a native, it just sounded so weird to me when I was a kid. Hearing an English teacher not exactly pronouncing it as I was pronouncing it. I mean, I was like, I thought you were an English teacher. I thought you spoke English. But that was my mentality as a 5.5-year-old.
Okay. That's awesome. Even your Italian was like good accent.
It's the musical ear that helps a lot.
Okay. Never thought about it this way.
Yeah, it adapts with many my brain literally just adapts with nearly every accent out there.
Okay. Oh.
Ask me to say something in French, for example.
What's your favorite food, French?
Okay. Qu'est-ce que tu ferais?
Oh no, I was asking.
Mange. Oh, okay, sorry. What's my favorite thing to what?
Your favorite food.
My favorite food. Croissant.
Okay.
I love croissant.
I will accept it.
Why not? They're flaky, they're buttery, they're delicious.
Yeah. No, I think pain au chocolat. It's my favorite thing to eat when I'm in France. And for them, it's very weird that we keep calling them croissant, even if they have
croissant
chocolate inside. They don't call it, like, for them, croissant, it's with butter, with nothing else. If you put chocolate, it's pain au chocolat.
Yeah.
So it's a different thing.
Pain au chocolat.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's weird for them. I mean, it's their creation.
Yeah. I will think, similar to us, like if they change like gyros, flaky,
that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you putting fish inside my souvlaki?
Especially people abroad, we know the souvlaki is a souvlaki here, but they call it, I'll just get a gyro. Yes. Sometimes a gyro.
Or kebab. Gyro.
A gyro. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
From someone, I don't remember who, but it was a gyro. And as a Greek, you have to educate them to tell them it's, first of all, gyro. Here comes the Hermione Granger again coming out. It's a gyro, first of all, and second of all, gyro is the meat that is in the souvlaki. The whole thing, the pita, the veggies, and everything. It's a souvlaki. That's what you're gonna ask for.
Yeah. I remember in the beginning, you were talking about YouTube and starting a YouTube channel doing bakery, actually, because you're good at this. Actually, she's doing a lot of stuff, singing, baking, so many things, video, and but you ended up in TikTok,
Yeah.
and now you're using, I guess, both, like your content from TikTok to IG Reels and YouTube
Yes.
Shorts and stuff like that. Is there any plan to go to YouTube also? To
It's in the plan, definitely.
yeah,
I just need a laptop to edit. That's
yeah,
all. That's all.
because yeah, you're editing on your phone,
Yeah.
which is actually cool. I think it's very cool that you are doing everything on your phone because especially in nowadays, it's so easy to have a good camera on your phone and
Yeah.
film everything. You don't need camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, YouTube is definitely in the works.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see when that will happen. But it's always been in the plans. I mean TikTok just happened
Mm-hmm.
because it was something that I needed at the time. It was my therapy. It really helped me out when I was in a very difficult
Mm.
place in my life. And so YouTube is also going to come.
Mm-hmm. Is the plan to do similar things like UGC, or are you gonna do the bakery as you said in the like way back then?
Yes,
What's the plan?
it's going to be the baking.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's my end goal when it comes to YouTube, actually. I just
Okay.
want to have a baking channel. I just want to bake and explain, sing in the kitchen sometimes. So it's definitely it it's something that my heart craves, actually.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. If it comes from so deep inside, I think you definitely need to do it as a creative. It means something.
Just
Yeah.
it doesn't leave me alone. It doesn't let me sleep.
And yeah, so you went it in TikTok, but you grew very fast. When did you start it, TikTok?
Uh, okay. So I first started with TikTok during lockdown.
Okay.
That's when I opened my account,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't really focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just did some silly videos here and there, voiceovers like everyone just starts.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
voiceovers, with sounds,
Mm-hmm.
lip syncings. Um, but after that, I saw that people were using it for vlogging, for recording little moments and such. And since I didn't have YouTube, I wanted to do something with my baking because I needed it at the time. So, yeah, I just started creating baking videos, and
Mm.
that's how it pretty much took off, which that happened in November, October of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And it just literally took off. It
Okay.
just took to like a few videos, and it was going amazingly. And I was baffled from the people's response, and people were liking my work, and it was giving me such joy. It was pushing me to do more and more and more
Mm.
because it's something that brought me joy, and it brought to other people joy as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's no greater feeling than that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how you also find your purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
That's
how it
super
came.
cool. And when did you know that's a career I can follow? What was the point that maybe you got your first um, brand deal or
Mm.
something like that?
When?
Yeah, how far after starting, basically,
Oh,
or if there's a specific point that you can remember that you knew that I can follow this as a career.
well, I remember that I first started November. Actually, I'm wrong. I think I started with my baking videos around that summer in June, July, somewhere there. And I got my first brand deal in November of 2022. So it
Okay.
didn't take that long at
Yeah.
all. I mean, it literally took off really quickly.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's when I got my first brand deal. And then after that, more deals started coming in.
Yeah. I
So
think when you get the first brand deal, first client, whatever, as a freelancer, then more start coming. It's
yeah,
like an avalanche. Uh,
like a snowball. Just
yeah,
keeps on
snowball
going and
effect.
going and
Exactly.
going and
Yeah.
going. Yeah. It
Yeah.
just keeps on getting bigger. And it's so exciting. It's so awesome.
And you talked about being like when you started being like a therapy to you. What
Yes,
does this mean?
it means okay. I'm from Athens.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up there, raised there. And I recently moved to a smaller city, which is 2.5 hours
Mm-hmm.
away from my friends, away from my family. And it was very difficult because I was working from home. I wasn't doing much. I didn't also know anybody when I moved there. And I started having panic attacks. I started hyperventilating, started crying, and it really messed me up in in a sad way. But at some point I was like, I'm not doing anything. So okay, phone, shelf, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it went. And it really, really helped me out. It got me out of the house while still being in the house, but at least gave me
Mm-hmm.
something to do. And it was beautiful and it was creative and people loved it. I didn't need anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that really got me somewhere where I never even expected.
Yeah. I think it's very awesome that you found a way to like therapy basically through creation. And I guess putting your phone there and having people connecting with you, it was a way to connect actually with people because you are like in lockdown
Yeah.
with no one.
Yeah.
So that's,
It was pretty amazing.
yeah.
And it still is. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I still love it when people actually comment and tell me they love my work.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I love as well. I mean, baking in general has always been my therapy because you just start out with something that is completely a given.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have your eggs, you have your milk, you have your flour. You put them all together and you bake a cake.
Mm-hmm.
And that in my book is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So having that in general, I've always had that in my life. I mean, whenever I was, oh, what am I going to do? Okay, I'll bake. So instead of just doing that, I shared it with the world,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me so much joy. I
Mm.
love sharing. I love giving out positive vibes to people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what, in general, I believe my existence is all about to be helping. I don't know, a positive chapter
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
I love being a positive person.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what my content creation does. It's not to point out negative stuff, which
Mm-hmm.
negative stuff we see every day. We live in many negative eras,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like that. I don't, life is tough as it is. I mean, you might as well have a haven, have somewhere to actually be you,
Mm-hmm.
relax, just calm this down.
Yeah.
That's my
Love that.
purpose.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I think I'm like this in a way of I don't like to consume things that are negative.
Mm.
Because yeah, as you said, you have it every day in your life. I want to when you want to chill, when you want to like relax, you don't want to have more of it because it I don't know. It's I feel like it's not changing me, but it's affecting me in a
Yeah.
way. And then you affecting other people with it.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Um, the motto and all of that I use is be the change you want to see.
Hmm. Okay.
So it's literally up to you.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And I think it's awesome also that you started with your phone and a self, not tripod, no
No.
nothing. Because yeah, you started with what you had. You didn't wait to. I need to buy a camera. I need to buy a tripod. I need to buy this and that. Because I know a lot of people that they are waiting to like I want to do this, but I need to buy this, and this first. So they keep waiting until they buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did also
Hmm.
have that mentality.
Hmm.
So all of us experience that. I still sometimes also experience that because there's always the fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
that is always conquering you whenever you want to start something new. So you hide behind the excuses. Um, you hide behind your lack of
Mm-hmm.
having something. Like, I'm not good enough to start that. That's what you're actually telling
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Um, so, oh, I don't have this yet, and I need to get it, but I can't right now because it's not in my budget, et cetera, et cetera. Excuses can just go on and on. They are so many and eternal. Um, but the the main thing is that you actually start, that you work with what you've got,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not just having something, but also, just being able, and how much you want it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to achieve exactly? Besides, I mean, anybody who started anything, they all started from nothing, from zero.
Mm-hmm.
You just become better along the way. You learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that many people do the mistake of, say that, okay, you buy all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
in the end. What if you don't like it?
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well just have a test run, see how that goes,
Yeah.
see if you like it, see if it fits your schedule, see if it fits in your life in general. So there's a lot to think about when you're
Yeah.
about to start something. So just start,
Mm-hmm.
just do it.
And I think the other thing about equipment in general is that if you start with what you have, you then see what you are doing and what need you have.
Exactly.
So in the beginning, you could buy a lot of things that you don't really need, but when you really do the work, you can understand what exactly you need to buy later on. So be more strategic with that.
Exactly.
Um, how did you get from? You said you had that mentality. So how did you get over that mentality?
By just doing what I can with
Mm-hmm.
what I have. And most of all, being grateful for what I have.
Mm,
Because this is also something that me- a lot of us forget to do every day. Be grateful for what we have. Because thank God I have a phone. Thank
mm-hmm.
God, thank whatever that I have a phone in my hands, that it has a camera. Who cares? I'll see how this goes, because we're all afraid of how judged we're going to be with what we're
Mm,
doing, because this is exposure, sudden exposure. I mean, you're in your comfort zone. You're on your couch, you're sitting there. Nobody's going to hurt you there.
yeah.
But once you start filming and posting, and oh my God, it's out there now. Oh my God, what if they hate me? What if they hate what I do?
Mm-hmm.
We all have that
Yeah,
fear.
yeah, of course.
But the fear that you have, it's just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exist. So you're giving flesh and bone to something that is here,
Mm,
instead of just saying, hasn't happened yet. So what have I got to lose?
yeah.
Literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So start
Mm,
with whatever means you have, anything.
yeah.
And yeah, it gives you a boost.
Mm, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then you get that sense of pride in the end.
Mm-hmm.
You move on, and then you look back, and you suddenly think like, oh my God, I mean, I got here. I mean, look where I was
Mm,
and where I just got to.
yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's scary. Very, very scary. But in the end, it's so fulfilling.
Mm. I think that's one very important step that a lot of people forget,
Mm.
and I'm happy that you mentioned that. Um, and I think it's similar to be grateful for what you have. That they forget where they are. They always look like forward on the next thing, but they forget to look back on. I have achieved all of this this last year. I started here and
Yeah.
here, and if you forget to do that, maybe you don't feel as good about yourself.
No.
It doesn't give you a boost. So I think that's an important step to do, to be grateful about what you have achieved through the
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah. Yeah. Daily gratitude. It's difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult because, again, in the now when we're living, we are always thinking about, oh no, I had such an awful day at work.
Mm-hmm.
I I just had a fight with my spouse, my partner. I just had a fight with my mom and all of that.
Mhm.
But in the end, you might think, I am so happy I had this nice warm cup of coffee this morning. And it just immediately shifts
Mm.
what you're thinking. Like with gratitude, you bring in so many, you're like a magnet when suddenly you feel grateful with
Mhm.
what you do and what you have. So when you're feeling grateful, when you're feeling amazing, when you're feeling good, then good things happen to you, the law
Mhm.
of attraction as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that both of these two combined, they actually do
Yeah.
help out a lot in our everyday life.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and as you said, when you give positivity, you're gonna get back positivity, and I think that's, I don't know how you call it, like law of attraction or whatever, but for me, it's also like mentally, like
Mhm.
you, if you focus on something, like if you focus on negative things, then you like you see only that,
Yes.
and that's why you attract only this. But when you're positive, you're focusing on the positive, so you attract that. If that makes sense.
One major thing is um, that is within this entire equation is also self-worth.
Hmm.
It's not just to think positive, it's also to feel it for yourself
Mm-hmm.
that you deserve it,
Mm-hmm.
that you are worthy
Yeah.
of happiness,
Yep.
that you are worthy of, you know, having people treat you in a way like for the food that you eat, for example. I mean, if you spend your life just eating junk food and eating bad stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you're literally feeding yourself with processed foods and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give yourself, nourishing foods, you deserve good food.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing goes with your mental state.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start thinking that this is not good for me, I deserve this, you're going to chase that. And then that goes with the people that you meet, with the people that you have in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start surrounding yourself with people, not just positive people, but people that actually feed you in a
Mm-hmm.
good way, in what you believe that you deserve, that's what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you feed yourself mentally, uh, regarding food or anything, that's what you're giving to yourself because that's what you believe that you are worth having.
Okay, I see. So it's about seeing your value.
Absolutely.
I think that's also for creatives, freelancers, and people like that. It's also in the business part.
Yes.
That, yeah, if they don't see their own value, it's
Hmm.
very difficult to do good business deals in general and all of those stuff. Is there a good way to, for someone to see his value? Any tip, anything that they could do?
Okay. When you start out, of course, your value is kind of low
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have that much knowledge. You don't know your skills yet. You haven't, cultivated them.
Mm-hmm.
But once you do, and once you know what you can do, you can literally just when you want to, seal a deal, you're going to tell them, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'll bring to you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is worth my time. This is what's going to cover the work that I'm going to give you. This is the worth of what I can give you.
Mm.
So it's not just a number.
Yeah.
It hides so much in it.
Mm.
So in the beginning, when you don't know exactly what you can do, but you're still kind of in your experimenting phase,
Yeah.
of course, it's not going to be that satisfying.
Yeah.
But the more you persist, the more you learn, the more you act, the more you do,
Mm.
it's going to come.
Yeah.
And that's when, you have to, measure things out, measure what you can do, measure what you can offer.
Yeah. Mm.
And that's where you put your price.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, you can actually also see what, let's, for example, let's say you're working with a company or a brand, you can see afterward, after you have done your part,
Mhm.
like how much reach they got, how much may you cannot see how much money they made, but in some cases, but you can see the value of it with their audience, for example. So you can also see that what's for that, basically.
Yes, of course.
Okay. I have a section where I ask 3 fast random questions.
Okay. This is
You
exciting.
can reply with whatever comes in your mind first. Expand.
Okay.
Okay, so question number 1: what's your favorite book?
Oh God, the 5-second rule.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've read it twice.
Do you want to expand for people that don't know that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, for everyone who doesn't. It's a book by Mel Robbins. She's a life coach, public speaker. That woman is an idol. I have actually listened to her book on Audible, and she's not just narrating her book, but she is talking to you. It doesn't sound like that. I mean, sometimes she laughs. I mean, it was one of the best. It was, I still is one of the best best-selling audiobooks on Audible right now. And it says so many beautiful things. I mean, basically what the 5-second rule is, it tells you to, when you want to take action, but you're procrastinating, you don't feel good. You know, when, for example, you want to go to the gym. We all are not very keen on exercising because you have to get up. You have to put on your sweats. What if it's raining outside? What if it's cold? Blah, blah, blah. All of these excuses. You count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you take action. You literally take control of your life. I literally did that for some time, and I really felt empowered. I felt, you know, there are many times when I was like, oh, I'm so bored. I don't want to edit right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, do it, because you know that later on it's gonna be what you want. You're gonna achieve what you want. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's why I love it so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think when you start, then you realize, that wasn't so bad. It didn't take so much time. It wasn't that hard. So yeah, it's that small step that you need to take in the beginning. By the way, since you mentioned going to the gym, I had the same feeling when it's raining. And at some point I realized, actually, if it's raining, most people are going to think the same way and they're not going to go. So when I go and it's raining, there's no one there. It's empty. And I enjoy it so much. I'm like, oh, it's raining today. Awesome. I'm going to be alone. So yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome recommendation. I knew that I'm going to recommend a good book. Second one is, what's an underestimated skill that everyone should learn?
Underestimated skill. Wow. Copywriting. Okay. Learning how to write a very decent, not exactly phrase, but also, you know, with every post that you see, like, for example, across platforms, that's copywriting. By writing, you know, just a small caption, a description under that. It's really good to be able to have good vocabulary.
Yeah.
And good grammar with all of that. So yeah, I think that by just even reading, or by having a word of the day exercises and such, that's going to help you out. Just the little things that will get you to that.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's actually pretty cool, because I can think back at the beginning, and I think that's mostly for more creatives. You're gonna design something, you're gonna make a video for something, and then you need to post it, and then you need to also write the caption. You're like, I don't know. I just want to post it. And so in the beginning, I was just writing like that, like 2 words, like, this is this. But yeah, later on, obviously, I realized that I cannot really do that. I need to. That's an opportunity to explain more, communicate with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good one.
I have another one, and I think that is plumbing.
Plumbing. Okay.
Learn how to, you know, fix your own plumbing at home.
Yeah.
Or
I will say general, like, if you can fix things at home.
Yes.
Like, learn the basic. Obviously, like, it's something very dangerous, maybe you can hire a professional.
Yeah,
but
that's why I said plumbing.
but even basic electricity, I think most people could do it. Wait, I don't know. I'm not saying like doing weird stuff with
Mhm.
wires and but basic stuff. That's actually a good skill to have. Actually, I was thinking at some point that why we don't learn this at school.
Yes.
Like,
Oh my god, don't get me started on the
like
educational system.
yeah, yeah.
There's so many things that they're not teaching us.
Like even the basic stuff, how the electric board works. Uh, so you could just tell.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, that
Or
is something that
how
we
do
don't.
you how to do your taxes?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to deep dive every time in the Greek Revolution.
Yeah, yeah,
Nearly like 3 times, or 4 within our school years.
yeah.
That's okay.
And it's every year, so
And
okay.
it's nearly every year,
Yeah.
yes. But, oh god. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
that's a very deep rabbit
That's
hole.
another podcast.
Yes.
But if you want to dive deeper, why not?
I'm good.
Let us know in the
There's no
comments.
getting out.
Do you want to hear more about educational words? Yeah. Number 3, what's the number 1 brand that you would like to collaborate with?
Oh god. Ballerina.
Okay, what's that?
It's chocolate. It's
I don't
the
know.
best chocolate in the world. I've worked with Valrhona for many, many years
Mm.
in my most professional jobs, and it's the best quality chocolate you'll ever have. They use it in the best kitchens all over the world.
Okay. So is it
And
more for pastry? It's
yes,
not like you cannot buy it. I mean, on a store to just eat it.
no,
Is it
definitely not.
expensive?
It's yeah, it's pricey.
How much for a bar?
I haven't looked at the prices nowadays. I've mostly just had them in my professional kitchen when when I've been working with them.
Hmm.
But oh my god, the outcome is always so. And
Okay.
even when you eat it,
Okay.
it's in the shape of these coins that you've seen
Hmm.
probably.
Is it?
So
Sorry.
soft.
Is it the this shape is to be able to melt it quicker, or is it just?
No. Well, it does help. It does help. I mean
Okay. Good.
um the piece of the chocolate, it's mostly a oh god, we're gonna jump into pastry now. I love it. Okay. So depending on if you've had it in the fridge or if you've had it outside, room temperature,
Hmm.
it's definitely going to help when it comes to the melting process, or to the tempering process.
Okay.
When I mean tempering is when you melt it and then you bring it back to a certain temperature so that way you can work with it.
Hmm.
Because when you don't melt it properly and then bring it to that, it doesn't do that beautiful snap. So
Mm.
think of tempering chocolate like writing with a pencil
Okay.
and then erasing it so that way you
Okay.
can write again on that same page.
Okay.
Something like that. That's the
Yeah.
best analogy
No,
I
I
can give
think
about that.
I haven't seen pastry
Hmm.
with chocolate, but I've seen a lot of creative people working with chocolate. So either sculpting or doing
Mm.
stuff, and every time everyone says that the worst, um, not element, but the worst thing that you can work with because it's very difficult to. You
Yes.
need to get it to a certain temperature and then cold and hot, and it
Yeah.
looks like a mess. So
It is. It is. It is messy.
okay.
It is messy. I remember when we were working with chocolate in culinary school. At some point, the hot water was out,
Oh, nice.
and we had to wash our dishes and equipment and everything, and it it wasn't easy. We had to scrub and scrub and scrub.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's always amazing to work with.
Hmm.
And
So will it be a deal, like a brand deal with for TikTok to promote it, for you to cook with it? What will be like the perfect
the ideal
content?
would be my own baking show
Oh, okay.
and being able to use that
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Yeah, that's as far as my imagination goes for the time
Oh, it sounds
being.
good actually.
Who knows? Maybe even YouTube. We'll see.
Now I want to try that chocolate. I want to try
Ah,
this.
I have a couple of places that you can find it.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
And now you have moved that you have moved outside of Athens, is it better now compared to the beginning?
It is definitely better
Mm-hmm.
because I still keep myself busy with or without my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I've made very good friends down there, thankfully. And the area that I'm living in, it's next to the sea.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you can go to places that are nice, but if you don't make friends, I think that's very important to
Yeah.
have friends there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, it's who you're with.
So we are in 2024 now. Any advice? And I know most people are gonna have like their yearly resolution list or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, any tip about doing the New Year's resolution?
First of all, not to be afraid to actually dream big.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid of that. But I know that it gets scary because it is so big. So break it down.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do this year? What can you do every month, every week, every 2 weeks? I mean, because we're not superhuman. And, if we all could, we would have achieved our dreams
Mm-hmm.
for now, so far. You see the end game, it's a big wall. So you don't just build a wall. You get brick by brick by
Mm-hmm.
brick. So it's not so
Yeah.
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 So dream big. I mean, make a great list that's going to make you happy, definitely. And just do whatever you can within your power to be consistent, because consistency is going to be your best friend
Mm-hmm.
throughout this New Year's resolution. You might not see results immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay
Mm-hmm.
because you're starting off somewhere. And even if you don't get to where you planned, you'll get somewhere else, and that's going to be even better.
Mm. Yeah.
But just do something. Do little by little every day.
Yeah.
Nobody became an overnight success.
Yeah.
Ever. Nobody did. So just do what you can. Learn as much as you can. And yeah, in the end, you'll achieve it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Like, have a dream big, have a big goal,
Mm-hmm.
but break it down to smaller pieces.
Exactly.
Awesome. And yeah, what you said, like bringing it into month, week, even days, I guess, uh, more manageable. Because yeah, if you have a big goal,
Yeah.
uh, you see it like in the beginning, it's a huge monster, so it's difficult to.
Exactly.
You don't even know where to start from.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Anything in your list for this year?
Continue what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
because I'm loving it, and experiment a lot.
Mm.
Fail and fail over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Try and fail. I love failure.
Mm-hmm.
I love it because it's also something that we haven't exactly embraced in our society, that failure is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't punish someone for failing at something. It means that they're going to succeed somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Fail. I want to fail a lot. Like,
yeah. And you learn a lot from failing, actually.
Yeah. Like, okay, let me try this. Nope. No bueno. Let's go to the next one. That's how it is.
I like that we moved to Spanish now. In every question, you need to answer in different language.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, welcome to Duolingo.
We do a podcast, it's just random languages.
Et por qué no? Et pourquoi pas?
Perfect.
So yeah, you get a multi-culti, a potpourri of lots and lots of stuff. That's life. It's gorgeous. Yeah. It's colorful.
Now that you moved there, any other plans for traveling? Any country that you would love to visit? Anything like that?
Oh God, I was just having this conversation a few days ago. Places that I want to go to. Okay, I definitely want at some point to go to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Any specific country or in general?
Northern Africa, like Egypt, Marrakesh,
Oh, okay,
probably.
okay.
Where else? I definitely want to go to Southern America.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe hit Brazil.
Okay.
Dance a little bit. Uh, drink some coconut water on the beach. What else? I definitely want to go skiing again, maybe in the Alps at some
Mm-hmm.
point. I went skiing last year and it was my first time ever and I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. It was incredible.
Okay.
And I'm jealous of everyone who gets to go every year.
Have
Whoever
you
happens to
done
go.
anything before, like skating, roller blades, anything like that?
Yes, I used to do rollerblading when I was
Ah,
a kid.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why. You
Yeah.
probably because most people that have done something similar as a kid, I think it's easier to comprehend how ski works.
hmm
Yeah, that's
True. I never did that connection.
yeah. No, I
Seriously.
think because I do snowboard,
hmm
but most people from the start they were like, you need to try ski because you will be better at it. Because you have I was doing rollerblades
hmm
as a kid. But I was like, maybe. I don't know. But I have never done ski. So maybe I need to try it at some point. I must do snowboard.
It's not for everyone. I mean, you might not like it, but you can at least try it. Give it a
Yeah,
try.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Personally, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I want to
No,
do
I
it
think
again.
I'm gonna like it, but yeah.
Where else? I definitely want to go to Portugal and eat
Mhm.
pastéis de nata. Paris for a massive food tour.
Mhm.
Oof. Where else? I want to hit Asia at some point too.
Mhm. Any country specifically?
Japan.
Japan,
Japan.
yeah.
Definitely Japan. Um, have endless bowls of ramen. Definitely. And some sushi.
Yeah.
Uh, where else? I mostly just want to travel for the food, actually.
That was the thing I wanted to actually tell you. Like every country that you said, it's like I'm gonna go there and eat this. I'm gonna go there and drink this. But that's the biggest part of culture when you're traveling. If you don't try like what the locals eat, uh, yeah.
I have one rule when traveling: eat and drink as much as you can.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, hit the sites and the museums.
Yeah. I
Obviously.
think yeah, it definitely plays a big role. Like if I go to a country and the food is not good, it's not. I don't know. I don't enjoy it that much because I'm like, I probably will not live here because
Yeah, I
the
mean,
food is not.
how will you get the energy to move along throughout the rest of the
Yeah.
day if you're just not enjoying what you're
Mm.
eating? You happy and
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
That's definitely definitely plays a massive role.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. What kind of people inspire you?
People who have come from nothing
Mm-hmm.
and actually did their own thing and got to where they wanted in life and who never forget where they came from,
Mm.
where they started, and who are actually humble.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite persons. Exactly that. Starting from nothing. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So you do so many things
hmm
like 9 to 5, different kind of works, jobs, and content creation, and all of the stuff. How do you balance everything?
The 9 to 5, okay, it's standard.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, what time you're going to wake up, what you're going to be able to do before work. So after work, it all comes down to scheduling. Because if I don't have a schedule after work, it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, for example, when I'm done with work, I definitely need an hour to myself. So that way I can digest everything that happened, clear my head, and then I can get started with my content creation. It's very, very hard, especially in the winter,
Mm-hmm.
because um, content is bestly recorded during the day. And because I
Yeah.
finish at 5, the sun is down, so there's not much to do, unfortunately. So I save that for the weekends. But during the summer months, it becomes a lot easier that
Mm-hmm.
way because yeah, I mean, you still have the sunlight, you can still go out for a walk, you can still do stuff. Um but it's kind of hard because you need to balance out working, content creation, and social life. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it does get challenging. But again, it all comes down to proper scheduling. And that's why I make sure that every year I get myself a planner.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that from 9 to 5 I work,
Mm-hmm.
maybe sometimes 9:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then I write down from this time to this time. For example, I'm vacuuming the house. From this time to this time, I'm going to learn something. I listen. I do a lot of Udemy courses
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes YouTube. Sometimes. So yeah, I mean, you can always fit in anything that you want to do. But the most important thing is that you leave the last hour before you go to bed for yourself to unwind. Put the phone away, especially. Put it on a sleep mode or something that you don't have to touch it. You just put it on the side, and then you take your shower, you brush your teeth, and just go to bed because you really need to unwind after all of this craziness that took place during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much it's hard. It is hard, I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
because sometimes things just don't go the way you planned.
Yeah.
And I sometimes have to do things over again. Maybe the client is gonna ask me to redo something, and it kind of drops me out of my routine, but it is part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so it's
But
not that
being
easy.
like have a good schedule and be organized, basically it helps to
Absolutely.
follow that. Yeah, because I think most people they're gonna be like this. They're gonna have a 9 to 5 job and they want to get at some point somewhere, but in the beginning they need to do it for, I know, a couple of hours per week.
Mhm.
But it's difficult to do it after work because you're tired. So I
Yeah.
get that. But is there any good advice that you can give around that?
Um, what I can mostly suggest is based on my examples and what I have done. Um, the best thing that I can suggest is remember to take breaks. Don't be so hard on yourself because it's the best that you can do, but be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the smallest way possible, because consistency is what's going to get you far. Because it doesn't have to be like 100% every day. It doesn't have to be because you're not superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
You still need to unwind sometimes. And many times people don't talk about the unwinding. They always talk about the hustle. Hustle, 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 hustle. Try, try, try. Work, work, work. Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to chill. You have to relax. It's equally as important as working because how can you work when you're burnt out?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we forget to do. So you've got your 9 to 5, but you also want to follow what you want. So do your 9 to 5 because that's what pays the bills at the end of the day. And we all need that. After that, unwind a little bit, maybe hit the gym, do something to move, do something to, unleash everything from the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then get started on what you want to do. It
Mm-hmm.
can be 1 hour, it can be 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
but always leave that last hour before you go to bed to yourself
Mm-hmm.
to unwind. So dedicate as much time as possible within the week. And if you can't do it during the week, like every day,
Mm-hmm.
try and doing it like twice a week so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't overwhelm yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And also in the weekends when you're going to have,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you have your day off to dedicate maybe more than an hour, more than 2 hours. But also not don't be afraid, don't be disappointed by the time that you are able to dedicate to that.
Mm. Okay.
We don't all move in the same pace.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, the small thing that you're going to dedicate to that, you're literally like when you're saving in a piggy bank, you drop in a euro, you drop in 2 euros the next day, you drop in 5 euros the next day because that's what you can give.
Mhm.
So that's exactly when it comes to evolving is something that you actually want.
Mhm.
And that way you don't feel stuck. It's going to take some time, but just continue because you're going to get there.
We are almost in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Where people can find you? What's the best place to
um,
communicate?
well, my TikTok and Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
they're both under the same name, Zeina
Mm-hmm.
Angel.
Awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, that's, you know, a, I'm just a DM away.
Yeah, I will have your links,
Thank you.
obviously, in the description so people can go see your TikTok.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to close with? Anything? Any tips that you will give to young people that starting out right now
Yeah.
creating? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've said before, start, just do something, anything,
Mm-hmm.
and just never stop learning because whatever you do, it's definitely going to be beneficial to you
Mm-hmm.
in one way or another. And yeah, just meet people um and just enriching yourself with knowledge and positivity.
Mm.
Yeah. And eat well.
Yeah.
Eat good and well, you know? Just be happy with whatever you're doing. Because one major thing that we forget is that we come to this life and this life is ours.
Mm.
We don't owe it to anybody. So don't try in whatever you do to make someone else happy
Mm-hmm.
because it's literally going to be useless.
Mm-hmm.
You don't owe your life to anyone.
Yeah.
So just do whatever makes you feel good in here.
Mm-hmm. So thank you for being here. Honored to have you, and you can come back whenever you want.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah.